Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Astrological Intentions. I am your host, Alex Reevy, along with the dubstep dancer herself, Sandy Reevy.
Huh?
It is episode 415, the week of July 6th. Let's get right into it. In the transits, we start off today, the 6th, Sun square Saturn.
What's in your way?
Tuesday, the 7th, Neptune stations retrograde.
Standing still.
Thursday, the 9th, Venus ingress Virgo.
Perfection versus analytics or analytical.
Sunday, July 12th, Mercury retrograde conjunct Sun.
Cazimi.
Then on the horizon, we have our 2 September events, and in our house, we are continuing the quiz and also answering the 100th birthday question. Stay tuned for this episode of Astrological Intentions.
I say go do you. Now travel far, share your stories and earn your scars. It's you. Say you are the one you will answer to when this life is done. Don't waste a minute, jump in the river. Wash yourself clean so you can deliver you.
Hello, dubstep dancer. I know you got really confused by this, but like
Is that a Greek dance?
no, dubstep is kind of like a type of music that's very like bass and house and
Oh, well,
like
hell. You mean why I asked you and Andrew and everybody to send me a video
a video of
dancing?
us dancing to your favorite song.
Is that called a dub step?
It's a style of music. I wouldn't go as far as that song is dubstep, but it's closer to it than like say like any of your other genres that you listen to.
Oh my God, I'm falling. She only has 3 songs out, and she's Russian, so one is in Russian,
Hmm.
and um, go on. But anyway, my favorite song, and actually, I let my mom when I picked her up
Why
for
don't you shout it out here? Weather Boutique
Weather Boutique.
by
Oh my gosh.
Kate Zivko. Zivko. It's a very cool song. I really like it. And it does get you dancing. So I sent you like basically a TikTok dancing, dubstep dancing
And I sent one
video.
back, and then I showed mom that as we were going to the party. And she was like, "Oh, look at Alex, she's involved." And mom says, "I really like that song."
Yeah,
Mom would
it's a
never
great
listen
song.
to stuff
And
if
the
I didn't.
lyrics are really, really great too. So in the transits, let's start off with Monday, July 6th today, Sun square Saturn.
Yeah, I mean, this is at around 6 o'clock in the morning. Like you wake up on Monday and after this big weekend, right? And you're like stuck. What is in your way? And the best thing to do, because we just had that full moon, we just had Mars making all of those one really nasty conjunction and then helpful sextile and a helpful um, kind of way out with the trine. Now the sun, this is one reason why I'm not making talismans this first week and a half. Um, Name it. What is in your way? Don't just be mad at everything, right? Don't just be like frustrated and feeling limited and feeling like you can't get through any door. Name the door,
Mm-hmm.
right? Examine it before you absorb all the frustrating energy, right? Once you name it, let it be.
Mm-hmm.
Let it be. It is that door is not opening. Don't don't search for a key. It is don't search for the saw or the hatchet or the axe or the hammer or other people to take it out on. Just stay away from that door. Let it be. Let it do that.
Okay. So let's move on to Tuesday, July 7th, Neptune stations retrograde.
This is 4 degrees Aries. Neptune is the second slowest moving planet in our solar system. And this is at 5:55 a.m. And when, stationing either way, stationing retrograde or stationing direct, it just means the station words mean standing still. And it's going back to 1 Aries. So in other words, it's done with Pisces. It's just staying in Aries now for about 10-ish years. So all those that have a 1 or a 2 Aries planets are completing their nebulous era. And I don't think that's a music tour.
Although it could be.
It could be. But you will be finishing this nebulous era by December of this year or up to February of 2027. So he's got to go back to the 1, he's got to go back to the 2 and try to figure out really where do you need the healing? What do you need to let go of? How can you soothe your nerves? You're an Aries. You need a soothing.
Okay. So let's move on to Thursday, July 9th, Venus ingress Virgo.
This is another reason why there's not a whole lot of great talisman times. Venus is going into her zodiac sign of fall, Fall, where it's like you've fallen and you cannot get up. So she'll be here for 3 weeks. So, Virgo is about perfection and, analytic thinking. Venus doesn't want to do that. She just wants to enjoy and have pleasurable moments. So the best use of her being here is having very much needed detailed conversations. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Who do you need to have a conversation with that might need to fix a flaw? Because we talked about that full moon, in Capricorn the week before, where all emotions were to be seen and exposed. So who do you need to have a conversation with? Mercury's retrograde is a great time because that's another reason. Venus, now if Mercury were in a good, because Venus is in Mercury's location going, hey, Mercury, what should I do? And if Mercury were in a good position or in a place that he enjoyed, or he was with Venus co-present, I could make talismans with Venus there. But Venus is like, Mercury, where are you? I need your assistance. Tell me what to do here. And Mercury goes, yeah, I'm retrograde. Yeah, I don't feel like I'm not going to get the message.
Mm.
You're not going to get my response. So, have detailed conversations that are for purposes of repair and not when you're trying to control the narrative. You're going to seem bossy and negative. You're going to seem pessimistic, like nothing's working here.
Mm-hmm.
Stop. Like, love, how can we make this better? I want to have a more successful relationship. This bothers me when you do that. You think you're being, funny or facetious or, satirical, but it hurts my feelings.
Okay.
Again, I'm not making talismans this week because of this.
All right. So let's move on to Sunday, July 12th, Mercury retrograde conjunct Sun.
Cazimi, this is at 20 Cancer. So this is at 8:26 p.m. Susan will talk about, she likes the window of time, which is the 17 solar arc minutes orb, which is at 3:58 p.m. on Sunday the 12th to 1:01 a.m. on Monday the 13th. This is a time to deepen your raw emotional nature. It's in Cancer. So again, what needs to be discussed in detailed conversations, right? I know you're going to be, will you be back? You'll be back by then. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So burn off old, wet, moldy stories. The more you feed a old, wet, moldy story, you're just creating more mold or mushrooms that are poisonous, right? Stop feeding that.
Agreed.
Burn it off. Burn it off. What's that?
Great advice.
Or release the truth of the matter. Meaning, does it even matter? You know, it's kind of because Mercury has not been in Cancer for retrograde, therefore meeting up with the sun in Cancer for about 6 years. So this is not a Mercury retrograde Cazimi the sun activity that we have, 3 times a year. Nope. Different.
Mm-hmm.
This is
Okay.
emotional. This is family. This is concerning. This is how do you feel protected? If you don't feel protected with the people that you live with or honor, you got to speak it. Speak it. So we can already see, there's some beautiful moments to enact different in the first 2 weeks
Mm-hmm.
of July.
All right. Don't forget that you can follow along with these transits personally by using the astrology guide. If you're completely new to astrology, you can download your natal chart, getting a better idea of what your specific chart looks like. And you can also book a reading with Sandy, $20 off if you use the code podcast. So let's move into talisman times, where we don't have any to discuss. So I will throw a link. I will throw a link in the show notes for you to check out the talismans that we do have. On the horizon, I'm going to throw in the link to Sandy and Susan's, aka Chatting with the Stars, July astrology forecast. That is out and online, so completely free. If you do want to support Sandy and Susan, you can always download the cheat sheet, which is a downloadable PDF that you can print, have by your desk, and you have all of those transits listed and ready for you.
And that's $5. Yeah.
Yes. So we also have our 2 September events that I have been beating to death. So we have the Chicago UAC show September 3rd through the 8th and the Egypt retreat September 13th through the 26th. So let's move into our house, where we have more to discuss when it comes to the famous quote quiz.
Yeah.
But before we get there, you had mentioned that you went to a 100th birthday party last week, and you were going to give us a little bit more details about it, about how a woman towards the end came up to you crying. And so
Mom and I
we
met
missed
a bunch
on that.
a lot of people came up to Mom. They recognized her. I mean, she also is, 94. And so they were happy to see her. Mom looked great. She had the cutest outfit on. We were leaving. We were there for longer than my mom was like, well, we'll just stay for about an hour. But they had a program, they had the cake, they had this great food, and Mom was just enjoying people coming up and talking to her. And so we were leaving. She's like saying, let's get ready to go. And so we were leaving, and we're about out the door, and a woman who I'd been talking to earlier comes up, and she's probably younger than me and is crying. And she's like, just hold on a second. Are you the girl that had a hard time during pregnancy? And I said, yeah, that was me. She goes, oh my God. And she started crying, and she gave me this biggest hug. And her husband comes up next to me, who we would again talk to earlier. And she's like, honey, this is this lady that I was telling you about. And I said, well, my son's 42. So that was like 42 years ago. And she said, I had just become a teacher in Dayton, Ohio, which is really close to Cincinnati. And she said, and I became a teacher in that, and as we got together in July to start the new year, they said, we're also doing a prayer closet. Now, I thought that was funny, prayer closet. And we come together for 5 minutes before school starts every day, and we pray for someone. So she gets to the thing. She said, sure, I'll come. And she said when she got there, she's like, I didn't know you, but my mom kept talking about you. And her mom's a really good friend of my mom's, who was at the party, and said, we got to pray for this lady named Sandy. She's pregnant and she's so sick. They don't know if the baby's going to make it, if she's going to make it. She's almost dying, blah, blah, blah. So she said, I didn't know you, but everybody in Cincinnati was talking about you. So I brought you to the prayer group. She goes, how did you have the baby? She really didn't know anything more. And I said, oh my God, my son's 42. He's a golf pro. And the husband's like, where? And I said, well, it's interesting because that was the only thing in the hospital that calmed me down, is to watch. That was the only thing I watched. Thank God I didn't watch football. He would have been a football star, but
Yeah.
the golf star instead. So anyway, she just hugged and had goosebumps all over her body and was saying it was so great to meet me.
Oh, that
And
is
she
pretty
wanted
cool.
to close the circle
Circle.
of 42 plus years. Yeah,
Wow. That is crazy.
right. So yeah, going back in time just seems to be a lot of things that we're talking about in the past, right, during this
Mm-hmm.
call, right? So it's taking a look at things like that you need to reconnect with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move into the famous quote quiz. Let's see
Okay,
how
here we go.
terribly I do.
Ready?
Mm-hmm.
I came, I saw, I conquered.
Vini
Dwight
Vidi Vici.
Eisenhower, huh?
Go on.
Dwight Eisenhower, Alexander the Great, Steve Jobs, or Julius Caesar?
Julius Caesar.
Yep.
Vini Vidi
It's the
Vici.
yeah, it's the translation of Veniti. What'd you say?
Vini Vidi Vici.
Yeah. The Latin slogan Julius Caesar coined to brag about the speed of his victory over the king of Pontus. And I'm reading a historic novel called The Memoirs of Cleopatra right now. Something new, because I'm reading a bunch of Egyptian books right now, but more about
Mm-hmm.
kingdoms and the deity
Cool.
and stuff. But I wanted a more fun book to read at night when I was getting ready for bed. And yeah, Julius Caesar, very important player in the Egyptian world and the things that he brought from Egypt to uh, back to Rome. And so I've got great information to bring to the Egyptian um,
Retreat.
attendees retreat
Mm-hmm.
of how he set together a calendar that the Egyptians wrote something that they did every day. It was almost like a horoscope.
Mm.
It's called the Egyptian it's called the Caesar calendar. Anyway, I'm reading about that. I got the book coming, so we're going to be doing that on the retreat.
Exciting.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Anyway, let's keep going. Next. Hate the sinner. Wait, oh my gosh, I'm overreading. Quote, hate the sin, not the sinner. Muhammad Gandhi, Bernie Madoff, Bill Clinton, or Dolly Parton?
Gandhi.
Ding, 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 ding. He wrote
Mm-hmm.
that in his autobiography, admitted that this is easier said than practiced. He paraphrased St. Augustine's Latin expression, I won't say it, the love of the person and hatred of the vice.
Mm.
I can't say it in Latin. Don't try.
Okay.
Quote, people who boast about their IQ are losers. Vince Lombardi, Donald Trump, Stephen Hawking, or Pablo Picasso. People who boast about their IQs are losers.
I mean, like calling somebody a loser, kind of gives me Trump vibes. Um, I don't
Stephen
know.
Hawking.
Okay, Stephen Hawking.
When an interviewer asked Stephen Hawking for his IQ, he said that he had no idea what it was. Then he shared his opinion of those who make their IQ a point of pride,
Mm.
which
Yeah,
I agree.
I
You know,
agree with that too.
yeah, but I see where you were going with that. Quote, give me liberty or give me death. Nelson Mandela, Patrick Henry, Galileo, or Al Capone?
Um, the first one, who was that?
Nelson Mandela.
Nelson Mandela.
I don't know. I'm going to say Galileo. I don't know why, but I'll do you. No, it's Patrick Henry.
Don't
According
know.
to a posthumous biographer, Patrick Henry delivered this line during a speech in March of 1775 that inspired many of his fellow Virginians to act against the British rule.
Mm.
Yes, we are talking about the
Yeah,
250
American Revolution.
year. Yeah. What does not kill me makes me stronger. Jonas Salk, Joey Chestnut, Theodore Roosevelt, or Friedrich Nietzsche?
Nietzsche? I don't know.
Yep. He came up with this aphorism for his 1888 book, Twilight of the Idols.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. Sic semper tantris. Sic
That's
semper tantris. George Washington, John Wilkes Booth, Neil Armstrong, or Maximilian Robespierre?
I don't even know what the I'm gonna
I
say
don't know
this
what that means
second
either.
person. Who was the second person?
John Wilkes Booth.
Oh no. What are the
Oh,
options
it
again?
is. It was him. It
Oh,
was him who supported the Confederacy during the American Civil War, shallowed this Latin phrase, which means thus always to tyrants, after he fatally shot Abraham Lincoln.
oh wow.
Again, we are talking about,
Yeah.
and I mean, it's probably why this quiz showed up, at this time, right?
Yeah,
Because
it could have been.
it is in cahoots with this astrology at this time.
Correct.
Another quote, I don't do drugs, I am drugs. Karl Marx, Salvador Dali, John Lennon, or David Lynch?
Oh my gosh. I'm between Dali. Let's just go Dali.
Yeah, it's a common paraphrase of something he once said during his native Spanish during an interview. A more literal translation would be, I have never taken any drug, but Dali is the drug.
Mm-hmm.
He
That's
said
cool.
this, the artist claimed to have never taken anything stronger than mineral water. But man, he was out of his mind. Okay, next. This is the last one. When people show you who they are, believe them. I actually just quoted that 2 days ago to a
It
client.
may, yeah, I've used that one before too.
Oprah Winfrey, Sigmund Freud, Andy Warhol, or Benedict Arnold?
I'm between Oprah and what was the third one?
Andy Warhol.
Let's go Oprah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. This is a piece of wisdom Oprah distilled from Maya Angelou, who had warned against staying in relationships with people once they have revealed a toxic trait.
Mm-hmm. It just seems like a much more modern quote.
Yeah. Again, Venus and Virgo. Yep. Similar, right?
Yeah, that's
Right?
true. That would be a Venus and Virgo for sure. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you everyone for joining in with this fun quiz. And we will see you all next week. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
I say go do you. Now travel far, share your stories and earn your scars. It's you. Say you are the one you will answer to when this life is done. Don't waste a minute, jump in the river. Wash yourself clean so you can deliver you. The story of you, the story of you. The story of you, the story.